DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're well. It is Sunday morning. Oof, well, it's 7:45. I've just finished doing some Spanish lessons and my Bible readings, the usual things I do in the morning when I get up. Some of the usual things. But I thought, well, today's Sunday, and we're going to be going off to church in a bit, but Mrs. DC's not yet up, and Sunday, well, I usually cook some eggs or something, and we listen to a bit of music on what's the station called again? Um, Old Age. No, that's not what the station's called. Old Age is what I'm feeling sometimes. Sing for Joy. Sing for Joy. That's what it's called. Yeah. And yesterday was a fun day. Yesterday was Michael's, so my first grandson's, his 8th birthday. Mm. And so we were there and at their place, and there was little cousins. So of course they were busy playing with the cousins. They weren't all that busy with grandpa as they could be sometimes, but they'd come over and so on. And I've mentioned it before, but Michael is autistic, so sometimes his interactions might be slightly different. But it's always interesting to observe when he's interested in something, like the intensity that he will put into it. And his mom had told me about a book that he uses at his special school, and I managed to find it, and he was so excited. He was so excited about that. It was fun, and as usual, I made him. Well, whenever it's somebody's birthday in the family, I make a special page with pictures and things like that. And so he was looking at that and examining himself and so on. And you can see, I mean, he's getting older. It's well, I mean, at 8 years old. I mean, it's not such a surprise, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the parents had dressed him as a fireman, and his little brother was dressed as a policeman. Boy stuff, I guess. Right now it's Christmas in between. Sorry, it's Sunday in between Christmas and New Year's. It's kind of like a no man's land, I find, when you're in that period in between the two. I usually get confused for years, kind of like confused. What day of the week is it? What are we? Because it's like Christmas is kind of like a Sunday, and so is New Year's, but they're not on Sunday. And so there's this sometimes a Sunday in between. Well, there always is a Sunday in between, and it's like, oh wow, this is weird. Well, actually, there isn't always a Sunday in between if Christmas is a Sunday, but it's the case this year. So it's like, oh, kind of like a twilight zone. That's often how I feel between the two. Yeah. So today, like I said, we're off to church, and this afternoon I'm bringing Mrs. DC to the movies. She loves going to the movies, and it is is it called Housemaid? It's I don't actually know the book myself. I haven't read the book, and it's turned into a movie. Cleaning Lady or something like that. I think it might be that, and it's something about a lady, I think, who got out of prison and now works as a cleaning lady or something like that. Anyway, she read 3 books from that person, from the McFadden, something that, yeah, McFadden, I think is the name of the lady. I don't remember her first name. And it's been a really big hit, and it's surprising because they mentioned the book in spring last year on the news. It had been such a big bestseller here in Switzerland, and I have it on my Kindle. I just still have to read it. And but Mrs. DC has read three, and now they even mentioned on the news of all places that it became a movie. So I saw no Blogger's Age. So I saw that it was in our cinema. So we'll be going there this afternoon. I told her, I said, "Oh well, being an old retired guy, I like taking a nap. I sit in my chair. I just kind of nod off. But I noticed that I like that now. And so I sit there. I said, we're going like early afternoon. I said, I wonder if I'll nod off in the movie theater." And she kind of laughs and she says, "You probably will." But yeah, I mean, it's not that I actually nod off every time I go to see a movie, although it's not very often. And yes, I think I do nod off every time I go to a movie. Hmm. So that'll be our outing today. So I took a lot of pictures yesterday. And we were talking the other day about you get yourself a gift. And I'd forgotten one gift that I did get myself, but I had not expected to have it because it was it was difficult as far as the stocks were concerned. And it was a lens. It was a budget lens from Canon, but it was an f/45, well, 45 millimeters as they call it, 1.2, but a budget model. And those ones are really expensive usually. But this one was very good price for what it is. So I took pictures with it, and oh my goodness, I would say it's a good portrait lens. It really is. So I took a lot of pictures yesterday, and yeah, that was fun. I tried something new the other day. Well, I was a little bit annoyed with myself. The other day, I needed a keyboard for my iPad. The one I have, it's quite old, and it's starting to fall apart. So I found one from Logitech, and I thought it was the right one, but it wasn't. And it came, by mail, but from Logitech somewhere, Holland or something like that. And it would be a real pain to send it back. And the fact is, I tried to get it to work, and it didn't, and the case fit perfectly. And then I put in the details in the Chat GPT, and it told me, no, your case which you bought is not for your iPad, even though it looks like it perfectly is. And I had checked the model number on the Logitech page, and I thought it was the right one, but it wasn't. I had got it on sale. So now for the first time, I'm trying to sell it off on Facebook Marketplace. And somebody contacted me, and he wants to give me like half I'm already trying to sell it for slightly less than what I paid for it. So I'm being nice. I mean, I'm not selling it. It's new. It never was used. The box was open, but it was never used in the real sense of the word. And I'm cutting the price a little bit, not much, but a little bit. And the person, he said, "Oh, I'd like it for my daughter," but I mean, he wants to give me like about half the price. And I just wrote back and I said, "Well, no, I'm already selling it at a loss. So we'll see if he contacts me again. But if he does, I don't know. We'll see. I might go down a little bit to see, but I want to see what he says. But I don't want to go down as low as what he offered me. Have you ever tried selling things online? I have bought things online, but I've never actually sold anything online. So I'm a little bit kind of iffy, I don't want to. If I'm going to sell something online, I want people to give me the cash, and I don't want to you know, be bothered after that. So we'll have to see. Anyway, well, 10 minutes. I guess I'll stop. Well, it is going to be, like I say, an interesting Sunday, I hope. But I hope that you all have a good day. And like I say, it's this twilight zone. We're coming up to the new year, but we're not quite there. But December doesn't feel like December anymore. Yeah. Okay, everybody. That'll be it. So it'll be DC signing off. That's my coffee. Take care, everybody. And